I, right? Head I, Ministry of Social and Family Development, Mr. Seah Kian Peng.
Chairman, I beg to move that the total sum to be allocated for Head I of the estimates be reduced by $100. It is clear from the outpouring of support during COVID-19 that many Singaporeans want to do their part and help each other. This can be done in informal networks through government funding, schemes and institutions, but also and perhaps more powerfully through collaboration with informal networks, neighbors, friends and communities, including online communities. Over the years, the formal networks have taken more care and certainly less bureaucratic, less bloodless approach to help families in a holistic manner. In addition, the old governance philosophy of red tape and jumping through hoops has been replaced by a more respectful calibration and thicker network of attention and care. Today, we have one-stop centers, we have multiple agencies working together, we have a lens focused on the person and not a collection of problems. Since 2013, we have 24 social service officers to coordinate the delivery of services on the ground. I would like to ask the Minister to give us an idea of the impact that these 24 SSOs have had over the time. Are there plans to expand or scale back the officers? And second, what has been the main gap that the SSOs have identified? Is there anything else that is missing in our delivery system? Have we asked for feedback from the families and people that we have helped and see what we can do to improve the services? Last but not least, how can we better harness the power of the community to strengthen support for those in need? And how can we seed and how can we facilitate such community efforts to maximize the impact and benefits to Singaporeans?
The question is that the total sum to be allocated for Head I of the estimates be reduced by $100. Mr. Seah Kian Peng, if you'd like to take your next two cuts together, please.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Chair, as social needs grow, it is important for the government and the community to partner each other to better meet these needs. I had spoken earlier on the power of community in terms of delivery of social services. We can harness the same power in partnership. During COVID-19, especially during the circuit breaker, many of such partnerships between the government and community demonstrated their value in meeting increased social needs, such as the Peers Network and the Charity Food Work Group. Even as we take care in terms of fiscal prudence, audits, and careful use of public monies, we must also count in the intangibles that such networks bring. How does the Ministry intend to strengthen such partnerships? What are some of the safeguards and audit measures we can bring into play? No one likes an overweening state, and help comes much faster and in a much friendlier form when they are organized and implemented by people we know. We need strong partners in the community, and it is useful to see how much the people and the public sector can work together. My next card. Singapore's social safety net was the first and the strongest weapon we had against the pandemic. This net, which allowed us some measure of certainty in a very precarious situation, comprised financial assistance as well as social support such as employment assistance and jobs creation. And it is thanks to this that we dodged many of the bullets that we now see even in developed countries. The long queues of people at food banks, the homeless on the streets, the disproportionately larger load of poorer people in hospital due to COVID. It may seem here that COVID hurt the poor and the rich equally hard, at least in terms of vulnerability to the virus. However, we must open our eyes to the fact that in any downturn, it is always the poorest amongst us who are the most vulnerable. MSF most recently launched the COVID-19 Recovery Grant. Can the Minister provide an update on the COVID Recovery Grant, as well as how this grant is designed to help its recipients get back on their feet? Can the ministry also provide an update on job creation efforts in the social sector? We need all of us to emerge stronger from the pandemic, not just the strongest, but the weakest amongst us too. I think we did right in focusing the bulk of our help to help businesses preserve jobs. But I think we must also work at the social end of the stick. Take stock of how well the measures work, what more do we need to do, and what we need to change. Let's focus on the outcomes. I'd like an update on that. Thank you, Chair.